The greedy friend. In the heart of Odan Village, where the land was fertile and the rivers flowed abundantly, lived two close friends, Adewale and Tunde. Both were farmers, but they couldn't have been more different. Adewale was a hardworking and generous man. He believed that the secret to a fulfilling life was patience and effort. His farm flourished because he tended to his crops with care, never taking shortcuts. Tunde, on the other hand, was always looking for quick ways to make wealth. He envied Adewale's success but didn't want to put in the same effort. Instead, he would often trick others into sharing their resources with him. Despite their differences, the two had grown up together, and Adewale always hoped that Tunde would one day change. One morning, as the sun rose over the village, Adewale and Tunde sat under a large iroko tree discussing the upcoming harvest season. Adewale, Tunde said, rubbing his hands together, "How is it that your farm produces the best yams every year while mine struggles?" Adewale smiled. "Hard work, my friend. I wake up early, tend to my crops, and make sure I use the best farming methods." Tunde scoffed. "There must be another secret. Tell me, do you use special seeds? Or do you have a hidden farm somewhere?" Adewale shook his head. "No secret, Tunde. Just patience and effort." Tunde was not satisfied with the answer. That night, he decided to spy on Adewale's farm to discover his secret. For several nights, Tunde hid near Adewale's farm, watching carefully. He saw nothing unusual, only Adewale working hard. But then, an idea struck him. "If I can't grow my own yams, I can take his." One moonless night, Tunde crept into Adewale's farm with a large sack. He carefully uprooted the biggest yams and carried them away. The next morning, Adewale was puzzled. Some of his yams were missing, but there were no signs of animals. Could it be thieves? Asterisk, he wondered. He decided to stay awake that night to catch the culprit. As darkness fell, Adewale hid behind a bush near his farm. Just as he was about to give up, he saw a shadow moving. It was Tunde. Adewale watched as his friend dug up more yams and stuffed them into a sack. His heart sank. He had always trusted Tunde, but now he saw his true nature. Stepping out of the shadows, Adewale said firmly, "Tunde, what are you doing?" Tunde froze, his hands still gripping a yam. "Adewale. I was just checking if your soil is better than mine." Adewale sighed. "Tunde, you don't need to steal. If you had asked, I would have shared with you." But Tunde lowered his head in shame and ran away, leaving the sack behind. The next day, the village elders heard of Tunde's actions. Baba Aderimi, the eldest in the village, called him to the village square. "Tunde," Baba Aderimi said, "do you know why Adewale prospers?" Tunde nodded, unable to meet his gaze. "It is because he works hard and is patient. Greed will only bring you shame." Tunde felt a deep regret in his heart. He realized that his laziness had led him to steal from his best friend. He fell to his knees and begged for forgiveness. Adewale, being kind-hearted, forgave him. But he warned, if you truly regret your actions, you must prove it by changing your ways. Tunde promised to change. But words alone were not enough, he needed to show it through his actions. Adewale had always believed that true friendship was about supporting each other. To test Tunde's sincerity, he offered to help him rebuild his farm. "This time, you must work hard, Tunde," Adewale said. Tunde hesitated but nodded. He woke up early, tilled the land, and planted new yams with Adewale's guidance. It was difficult, and many times he wanted to give up, but he remembered the shame of being caught stealing. Slowly, his farm began to flourish. The villagers watched in amazement. Could it be that Tunde was truly changing? Months later, the village prepared for the annual harvest festival. It was a time of celebration, where farmers presented their best crops. Tunde, now proud of his honest work, brought a basket full of his own yams, grown by his own hands. He stood beside Adewale, no longer in his shadow but as an equal. Baba Adorimi smiled. This year, we have all witnessed something greater than a bountiful harvest. We have seen the transformation of a man. The villagers clapped and cheered for Tunde. For the first time in his life, Tunde felt true happiness, not from stealing, but from the joy of honest labor. Tunde never went back to his old ways. He worked harder than ever, and in time, his farm became one of the most respected in Odan. The story of the greedy friend became a tale that parents told their children, a lesson about greed, hard work, and the power of second chances. And so, dear listener, let this story remind us, hard work and patience will always lead to true success. But before you go, if you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. More exciting folktales are coming your way, and I don't want you to miss them. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next story.